You're watching the ACC on ESPN on a beautiful night in Northern California. We're about 45 minutes south of San Francisco on the campus of Stanford University for this ACC contest. It is the 12-6 Cardinal hosting the struggling Hurricanes of Miami. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Scott Williams. Great to have you with us. Look, Stanford's coming off one of their best wins in a long time. They went to the Dean Dome this weekend and beat the Tar Heels in Chapel Hill. People are feeling good about things, and Stanford's led by one of the very best players in the country.
Yeah, big win for the big man. It's a big reason why, because Maxime Reynaud is absolutely fantastic. He can do a little bit of everything. He's got fantastic footwork, spin moves, all the moves on either block. He's always in attack mode, taking the ball hard to the basket. He's got a pro touch down there on that block, got the fadeaways. He can shoot it all the way out to the three-point line as well. And man, does this kid love to chew glass, leading the ACC in rebounding. And then one thing the big guy's got to be able to do at the next level, you got to be able to run the floor. Uses his wheels in transition and gets the high percentage points.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. Maxime Reynaud, top 15 in the country in scoring, third in the country in rebounding. Nobody in college basketball has more double-doubles than Maxime Reynaud. I know Miami is struggling, but Matthew Cleveland, their sort of swingman off guard, he's been playing really well.
He's been doing a fantastic job. He's coming off a career high 31 points on Saturday versus SMU, shooting a high percentage from the field. How does he do it? He loves to slash to the basket and attack, shooting 53% in 7 ACC games that he has started this season.
So we'll see if Cleveland and the Hurricanes, a long way from home, late night game for them, can dig deep and play a little better than they did their last time out. Meanwhile, for Stanford, look, 4-3 in conference play, and 5 of their 7 games have been away from home. Now with Maxime Reynaud and company back on their home floor, chance to gain some ground and be a factor in the ACC race.
Yeah, this kid's a gym rat. He was here 2.5 hours before the game getting up shots. I've seen him in practice a couple times. He's a vocal, supportive leader. And what he just got a violation for stealing the jump ball. So Stanford's going to get the basketball to start this one.
Lynn Kidd, the big man for Miami, took it way too literally. We need to get off to a quick start. That was a little too quick. So the Cardinal will have the ball first, and Jalen Blakes handles the ball, part of this Stanford starting five. Jalen coming off the game-winning buzzer beater in Carolina against the Tar Heels. Kyle Smith, the first-year head coach here with the Cardinal, really likes his starting five. They play a lot of minutes. Reynaud gets up a shot on the first possession, comes up short.
No doubt. Go inside to the big man. Get him activated down there on that right block where he likes his left shoulder turn to his right-hand hook.
A couple changes. Miami's starting lineup has varied here. Looked to me like a travel, and it was.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd down there banging with Reynaud. That's going to be the matchup to watch. These two Brahma pools banging each other all night long down along the post.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd's been around a long time. Started his career at Clemson, played at Virginia Tech, now here at Miami. He's got some athletic skills. Maybe he can hang with one of the best big men in the country. Reynaud, another touch on the second Stanford possession of the night. Going one-on-one against Kidd, and Kidd defended him well. Pass almost stolen away. Agarwal finds a teammate in the corner. The shot, did he get it off in time? No, and it was an air ball. That's a shot clock violation.
Well, already you can see Coach Courtney's defensive scheme is not to double Reynaud, to leave the shooters open. Going to try to let Lynn Kidd handle him one-on-one down on that block.
A little better start defensively for the Hurricanes. Last time out, and it's hard to believe, regulation, non-overtime, they gave up 117 points to SMU.
Yeah, they were buried in that first half and never got their footing. They gave up 7 three-point field goals right at the beginning of the game, fell behind by 20, 25 plus, and then they just, ran out of gas. They played a little bit better in the second half, shot 50% in the second half, but then they get a good block, and this is where they got to live, in transition.
Let's see if they can get some easy buckets against this Stanford defense. Cleveland with the block shot. Three right side. That was way off the mark for Brandon Johnson, who just has struggled big time from the outside.
Yeah, and really hasn't been able to find his range. He made his first three of the season on Saturday, but for the most part, just hasn't been able to be consistent from the outside to loosen up the inside for Kidd to be able to operate.
Not a good pass. Johnson in transition. That is a blocking foul. So they call the block. Blake's thought he had position, but foul against Stanford.
I thought he had position too, Dave. Seemed like he was down there with a donut and a cup of coffee waiting for this contact. He doesn't take it quite square in the chest. I beg your pardon. He took it pretty much right between the two and the one. So officials giving Miami a favorable whistle on that one. You know, it's one thing the Cardinals prided themselves in practice yesterday was when a guy would step into a driving lane and take a charge. That's a staple of Coach Smith's basketball team.
There's Kyle Smith, the reigning Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Of course, Stanford not in the Pac-12 anymore. He was at Washington State last year. Stanford hired him. And I think the people around here are really feeling like, for the first time in a long time, there is some true optimism about this proud program that has struggled the last many years.
I totally agree with everything that you just said there. The culture is starting to take root and grow.
Lakes makes a good move. And the point guard on the low block, a bucket plus a foul.
How often do you see the point guard go down there on the right block and post up? As they tried to close Rayno a couple times, he came up nothing, says, okay, we'll take our mighty little man and throw him down on that block. He throws that right shoulder right into the chest of the defender, gets that contact, and finishes the play.
Very rare missed free throw. Man, Stanford has been making free throws at an incredibly high clip in conference play, but no three-point play. Miami on offense now. A little fumble. The point guard, Ugachukwu. That's State McCray. Jump shot no good, and a rebound for Rayno.
Yeah, Rayno, all he does is gobble rebounds when they come off the defensive glass. So they try to get out and run when he gets a clean look and a board.
Nice pass to Sellers for three. Blake's found him.
Well, the unselfishness of this basketball team will be on display for 40 minutes tonight. They really have a high camaraderie, love playing with one another, love sharing the ball and making the extra pass.
State McCray making his move against Sellers. No good. Rayno just rips down the defensive board.
He can rebound in his own position, but he can also go out of his position, cross the lane, and grab rebounds. Like he's posted up on that block he loves so much.
Squares and faces. Rayno, a little spin move, baseline, draws a foul.
Yeah, that's where Kidd's going to struggle. It's the one ability to cut off the first move, but Rayno's so good on that block with his footwork. He's got a variety of moves to counter any defense that he first faces, and that time getting baseline is where he likes to live. He can operate so well between that baseline and the backboard with those long limbs that he has.
7'1" senior from Paris, France, who has gotten better and better and better as his career has gone on. Stuck around to play under Kyle Smith, and he's having a monster year.
Look at this one right here. Now, see, he has a chance to survey the defense, realizing that he's got no help on the Kidd's got no help down on that baseline, and he just spins baseline and operates. And I had a chance to talk to his folks last week in North Carolina after the Wake game, and he's a fine young man. I interviewed him yesterday, and he is well-spoken, articulate, just wants to win, loves playing for the Cardinals.
Kidd, kind of off balance, but chucks that one in. There's the first basket from the floor for Miami.
You don't normally teach that jump hook fading away from the basket. You like to get your momentum going to the basket, but Kidd still found a way to get that one in the hole.
Great pass, and Agarwal lays it in.
There is a Smith staple. Give the ball to your big guy and play through him. Nice cut by Ryan. Backdoor for the easy deuce. I love Art Agarwal when he's going to the basket.
Somewhere, Pete Carrill is smiling. That was the old school give and go.
Yeah, that's definitely Princeton basketball, 90s basketball. Play through your big either in the low post or the high post.
Agarwal feeling it in and out. Rayno offensive rebound. Now he'll pop out. Thought about the three. He'll take the three. Good!
Yeah, Lynn Kidd not wanting to come that far out. He's going to have to make some adjustments. He knows that Reynaud can beat him off the dribble drive, so he doesn't want to give up too much ground to get too close to him. But they let him that much time to lace up the laces. He's going to knock it down. He made 3 in their last game at Carolina.
A little package you showed to start the game. He showed it up, and now he gets the block shot. So Maxime Reynaud doing it on both ends. Blakes will reset. Jalen Blakes down the lane, all the way, flips it up and in.
Well, he rejected Reynaud's screen, caught the defense trying to play towards the screen side, and had a straight line to the basket. That will not make Coach Courtney happy.
Johnson down the lane, a block called against Reynaud. No shot, but a foul against Stanford. We're going to keep it here. Miami get the first point of the game. Since then, Maxime Reynaud has sort of taken charge, hasn't he?
Yeah, doing a nice job here in his first 5.5 minutes. Obviously, a defensive stopper in that painted area. And can he pass the ball? Great court vision. Love that one there, slipping between 2 defenders. And then step outside, knock down one of your 3-point shots that you get a clean look at. He's got 5 points to go along with 3 rebounds and an assist and a block shot to start this basketball game. Just a stat sheet stuff.
That's a good 5 minutes to start the game for Maxime Reynaud.
That's a week. That was like a week's worth of work from when I played in the pros.
So one of the best players in the country, leading the way for this Stanford team, trying to have a building year under their first-year head coach. You see Miami's record. It's been ugly. Jim Larinaga resigns. Things have gone downhill since then. You can't blame the interim coach, Bill Courtney. It's just sort of fallen apart for the Hurricanes. But, you know, it feels like a big game for Stanford to try to take advantage, get a home game against a team that's struggling. Let's build on that big win in Chapel Hill. I think that's been the rallying cry.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to the coaching staff, and they said that their big focus was, hey, it's easier to handle adversity than it is to handle success. So trying to get these guys locked in. Don't look at the opponent. Let's just keep doing what we're doing to get victories like the one that they had in Chapel Hill in the Dean Dome. And I got to be honest, watching them in practice yesterday, this is a team that's fired up and hungry for a little bit more of that success.
Yeah, look, I know Carolina. This isn't a classic. You're a Tar Heel. This maybe isn't one of their all-time great teams. That's not a stretch. But for a Stanford team that's looking for signature wins, looking to build some confidence, not just internally, but at this school where basketball has been such a big deal over the years. You beat Carolina in Carolina, you come back home and people are talking about you.
100%. And, you know, that's like going into Kentucky and getting a win at Rupp Arena or Indiana and getting one there. This one right here, the inbounder, always the most dangerous one on the floor. And Blakes, who played at Duke, I asked him yesterday, was that personal little Duke Carolina thing that you had there? He said, no, I just wanted to get the win for my teammates, but he absolutely loved it. Came up big with the hero shot.
Now Stanford started their conference play against their longtime Pac-12 rivals, Cal, with a road win. It's been a tough schedule. Road games at Clemson, at Pitt, at Wake, at Carolina. They took care of business at home. The only 2 home games, Tech and Virginia. Stanford won both of those.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job, and I like that. You know, the team is focused.
And we welcome those of you joining us from K-State and Baylor. Dave Fleming, Scott Williams here at Maples Pavilion, the home of the Stanford Cardinal, coming off a win against the Carolina Tar Heels over the weekend. Back home finally. Miami a long way from home, struggling, and it's been a struggle in these first few minutes for the Hurricanes. 14-3 is Stanford's lead. Quick shot left side, in and out, no good. Reynaud on the bench after a very productive first 5 minutes. Maxime Reynaud, Stanford's star player, not on the court at the moment.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, you know, 15 double-doubles, leads the nation, already 5 and 3, and they go inside. They're just tearing up Miami with the backdoor action from the top of the floor.
That's Osiah Sellers. So Jalen Blakes transfer from Duke, Osiah Sellers transfer from USC. Big reason why Stanford's taken a step forward this year. It's been a difference maker for the Cardinals. Transfers have been hard to come by with admissions here at Stanford. They finally sort of have permission to go out and recruit maybe 1 or 2 a year, and it's made a huge impact on this particular Stanford team.
Yeah, when Raynaud goes out, it's Sellers and Blake's time. They know that they got to produce. They had 26 points on the road in Wake in the first half because Raynaud was in foul trouble.
What pass? Young missed it, went back to dunk it after his offensive rebound and got blocked on that one.
Well, you know what? You can't fault the kid for trying to not blocking the rim.
How about that? An answer for the Stanford defense.
Well, nothing's coming easy tonight for Miami. They got to get Cleveland going. He's their best player, their top dog, and he's stuck on the launch pad right now. You got to find a way to get him isolated on the left wing where he likes it.
Sellers, tough pull-up shot, beautiful.
Well, on balance, on time, so you get that 1-2 dribbles left. That's a rhythm shot that he has shot hundreds, if not 1,000 times.
He is very efficient, has been, especially in conference play. Really shooting the ball up. Cleveland totally out of control. Kid offensive rebound on the miss. And trying to pass out of the double team, passed it to the Stanford bench.
You can see Cleveland, the savvy senior, wanted to try to get himself going by getting to the basket. But look at Sellers. Just that hesitation. Move, surveys the defense. The defender's got to go with the roll guy. Gave him 6 feet, free to operate to get a clean look at the front of the rim.
Sellers checks out of the game. Sellers shooting 52% in ACC play, 50% from three-point land.
That's getting it done.
Akpara, Chisholm Akpara, the transfer from Harvard, takes it to the basket, scores with a foul. Just came in the game, and an immediate chance for a three-point play.
Where you could roll a red carpet with a big S down there in the middle of the paint, because every Stanford basketball player has received the message from Coach Smith to attack in the interior of this Hurricanes defense right now, and they are just getting gutted inside.
It's 21-3.
This is the Canes needed to keep this close early to give themselves a chance. Stanford has a tough time closing out games because they're actually not that deep. But if you get a 20-point lead at halftime, I don't think the Canes can recover.
Austin Swartz passes to his fellow freshman Jaleel Bethea, two very talented young players who just haven't really put it together in long stretches for Miami. Bethea, he's a big-time recruit. Got his defender in the air and draws a foul.
Well, there you go, right? Young freshman through and what Cleveland was trying to do. Draw that contact, get to the line, visualize that ball going through the basket.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN this beautiful Northern California night. We're south of San Francisco on the campus of Stanford University. Cardinal with a 21-3 lead. Yeah, you see that, right? Dave Fleming, Scott Williams. Great to have you with us tonight. Stanford trying to build off a big win against Carolina, and their star has come to play so far.
Yeah, they're off to a great start right now. Doing it with the D, of course. Just 1 of 11 shooting right now for the Canes, but Maxime Raynaud, absolutely fantastic, high efficiency, loves playing basketball. He's a gym rat. He was here 2.5 hours before the game, and look at those numbers. That really shows why the hard work pays off.
Nobody in the country more double-doubles than Raynaud. Free throw spins out. He's 3rd in the country. This is everybody in college hoops in rebounding. Top 15 scorer. And in the first 5 minutes of this game, 5 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a block. Give him another rebound as Miami goes empty from the free throw line.
Yeah, they come out with a little trap here, try to discombobulate this Stanford attack.
Yeah, a little chaos here. Kamen, did he step out? No, he called a timeout. So the big man kind of got pinned on the sideline, and instead of turning it over, Stanford uses a timeout.
Well, Coach Courtney surprised Coach Smith with that full court press, and Stanford want to talk about it.
Miami's going to need more of that. We'll be back right after this. Miami struggling big time coming into this game, and struggling in the first 8 minutes here at Maples Pavilion. Akpara attacks, got cut off, whipped a pass to his big man teammate Kamen, who missed the shot from the free throw line.
Yeah, but you gotta like that pass though, right? Low to high, high to low. Stanford Stanford Cardinals sharing that basketball real well. That's why they're shooting over 50% in this game.
Meanwhile, Miami has made one shot from the field, and that's their second, a much-needed basket. Paul Jobay.
Well, when you're struggling to find the basket, you do two things. You get to the free throw line for some points, or you attack the interior. And so that was a smart play, getting inside away from the big guy, Reno, for an easy bucket.
Miami trying to amp up the pressure on this end of the floor. Their defense has been so porous in conference play, especially. Now a bounce pass down low. Good look from Akpara.
Yeah, Akpara took his time when he got in that paint. Sometimes bigs get in that painted area and then they rush, or they'll travel, they'll turn the ball over. But he really understood how much time he had to operate.
That one just didn't have much of a shot at all.
Well, the big guy came over and shut that down for his 6th rebound.
Kyrie Huey just kind of flung one up there. Now Reno against Huey on this end, one-on-one. Miami really not double teaming Maxime Reno with the left hand.
He's got everything. He'll show you every tool in that box. If they're not going to double team him, he's got that right shoulder turn, left hand hook. That is not a fluke. That is in his repertoire. 20-point lead.
That was a beautiful little left-hand touch shot from Reno in the corner. Passing up the three. Now a three from the left side. No good. Agarwal took a rebound away from his teammate.
Well, Agarwal's an aggressive player. He'll get on that glass. He'll run some pick and roll, some pick and pop with him. He can stretch it all the way out to three-point range. He's
their second leading rebounder. Reno, that one was off the mark out of his hand. He's made 1 3 so far in this first half. Not that time. Now Miami airball. Good hustle, though, to save it in bounds. And that turns into a bucket.
Extra hustle, extra possession, extra points. So Miami, as bad as they played in this first half, they're showing some life over these last couple minutes. Couple buckets inside and a mid-range jumper, and now they're feeling a little bit better about themselves.
Try to get some stops on this end. This is where they've had so many problems. Gave up 117 points last time out against SMU. Reno along the baseline.
I like that. Run a little off a fake to get the defender kind of up on his toes. Then he comes back, crab dribble between his legs into the right-hand hook. So you see the left-handed hook time before, and you show the right-handed hook. I guess some pro scouts here, they're paying attention to what he's doing here in this first half.
There are a bunch of scouts here tonight. They have to like what they've seen. Bethea misses the jumper. Stanford up 20 with the ball, just over halfway through the first half. Playing with purpose. Stanford playing hard. Drive to the basket. Akpara had it knocked away as he went up for the dunk.
Yeah, got to shut down that baseline and stop the interior attack. Has been giving the Canes problems, but look at this one more time by Reno. He just surveys that defense, realizes no one's going to come double team me. Set him up by taking a couple dribbles. Bill will come back baseline. Same thing on this side. Show the ball up, get the defender too high, and then just come back through with a little contact with that left shoulder. Right-hand hook. So Reno does it on both sides of the basket.
I mean, that was not a layup. That first one you just showed, that was like a 9-foot little left-hand kind of hook hybrid shot.
He's got that.
That was not easy.
Now he's got that. He's just so on balance. I talked about his footwork. It propels his offense. He's got great court vision. He can pass the ball extremely well. But his footwork down around that low block, right or left side, is really what makes this kid go.
Go sit down and take a breather, Maxime. We'll keep talking about you. 29-7. Both free throws good for Stanford with 8:20 to go here in the first half. Kid back in the game against the young backup big man who doesn't play a whole lot on the basket for Kidd right over top Tallis Toure.
Yeah, I love Toure, but that's right there. That's a mismatch, Kid. That's veteran know-how down there against the young fellow, the freshman, and he just gives up too much size and length to Lynn Kidd. Lynn Kidd will make 65% of those little hooks within 6 feet of the basket.
Agarwal, they laid off him, so he hits the three.
Yeah, Agarwal can stroke that three. And he knows he can stroke it, and I think sometimes he falls in love with the three. No one cares if he shoots a three when you're up 20. When you're in tight ball games, he's at his best when he's attacking the basket. Look at him get down in a defensive stance.
And he's got a real good assist to turnover ratio. He's their second leading rebounder. Joe May lays it in. The Frenchman trying to show off in front of Maxime Reynaud.
Yeah, well, it scooped it like up underneath his armpit for the bucket. That was crafty and got it around Agarwal before he had a chance to come over and try to block the shot.
Another hard screen set by Toure. Akpara tries to find the big man who fumbled it and lost it. That's a turnover. Cleveland has been quiet so far, draws a foul.
That's where Matthew Cleveland is at his best in transition, going down the middle of the lane. But look at Agarwal, just sits out here. Lynn Kidd now twice, sagging off the big guys, and he's got that three-point shot.
All right, so we're through the college football national championship. I know for a lot of people the college hoop season really starts now, and we got a heck of a day on Saturday. A quadruple header. Kentucky, Vanderbilt. Duke, Wake Forest, and Cooper Flag's just been awesome. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN. Then flip it over to the nighttime. Houston, Kansas at Fog Allen. That's going to be a great game. And then Tennessee, Auburn to finish it out in the SEC. Just a terrific day of college hoops on Saturday on ESPN.
Yeah, I love college basketball. It's my favorite, man. How about Matthew Cleveland? Boy, you want to talk about, you kept 31 points your last game out. You can't wait to get to the court for your next action, and he just cannot buy a basket. 0 points.
Blake's tough shot came up short. Jalen Blake's back in the game. Is going to feed Kidd down low. Toure still in the game, and Kidd just spun right past it. Still working to get a shot off. It does. Took him a while.
We talk about the footwork of Reynaud. Kidd says, hey, watch me flash my footwork. There's that full court press again. It does a nice job taking it to the young freshman.
So a little life from the Hurricanes, still down big here in this first half. Reynaud at the scorer's table getting ready to check back in. He's been unstoppable when he's been on the court tonight. Looking for a screen. Blake's. Sellers knows he's got to get a shot off. Blake's will shoot the three, contested, and it's off the mark.
You see, when Reynaud's out of the game, they do not have that big to play through. It's either Sellers or Blake's, but either one of them got anything going. There's Matthew Cleveland. Welcome to the party, pal. Nice move to get inside for an easy floater.
Now a little full court pressure again from the Hurricanes. Pass was deflected, and Bethea steals it away. That jump shot way too strong, and now Stanford may have some numbers.
Well, Young kind of waited for that ball to get to him instead of going and attacking the ball, and allowed Miami to go in there and snatch that. Coach Smith not liking what he's seeing out of his guys. They're losing some of their aggressiveness and their energy. He's going to get a quick timeout, talk to his team.
Hey, we're only up 17 in the first half. We got to talk this thing over. All right, back here at Maples Pavilion, Stanford timeout. The pressure from Miami had Stanford a little discombobulated. I think you identified it, Scott. Kyle Smith wasn't real happy with the last sequence. So a quick timeout. Reynaud comes back in the game. And Stanford's a different team with him out there.
Yeah, they're real good after timeouts, drawing up and getting high percentage shots.
Sellers passed up a three, now gets it back from Reynaud. Gets it back from Blake's three, no good. Reynaud follow, had it sort of deflected, I think, so the shot off the mark.
Yeah, he thought he had an easy putback, but somebody got that from behind and pushed it out of his hands a little harder than he would have wanted. Would have been better served coming down with the rebound and going up with more power.
Foul against Agarwal, trying to defend the much bigger Lynn Kidd on the low block. So Stanford foul. Under 5 minutes to go, first half.
Well, we had a chance to talk to Coach Courtney at the shoot-around this morning. He said he had a very productive practice. Guys had high spirits, even after the shellacking they took, 117 points they gave up to SMU. So these guys were focused. So there's no quit in this Miami Hurricanes team. They're up against it right now. Sure, they're down by 17, but I like the way they're fighting, even though they're not having a whole lot of success.
Evan Stinson comes in. There's Bill Courtney. And not an easy spot for Bill, who takes over on an interim basis. Nice play. That was the freshman Donovan Young from behind, just stealing it away.
I said, enough of you backing me down up underneath this rim. Let me see you just put that ball out there with one hand. I'm going to try to slap it away.
Stanford probably would not have beaten the Tar Heels on the road this last weekend without Donovan Young. He's missed a lot of the year with injury. They love his upside. He's got a chance to be the next really great Stanford player. His three, though, was blocked. So another jump shot blocked. Quickly into the front court. Cleveland on the attack. Cleveland, no. Young goes up and grabs the defensive board.
Well, that's what you like to see. You get your shot blocked. You don't hang your head. You come back and you make a good defensive play for your teammate.
You got a mismatch trying to find Reno down low. Instead, it's Sellers who got cut off. Miami playing a little better on defense here these last few possessions.
Certainly have picked it up. Only 5 to shoot.
Blake's three contested, no. Rebound tapped to Kidd.
This is where Miami's got to attack. This is a transition. Try to get attacked before Stanford has a chance to really lock in defensively.
Thea did attack.
He had a nice pick by Lynn Kidd. He took that ball all the way from the right side of the floor and took it to the left side.
It's an 8-0 Miami run. A little something positive for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, you don't have to have the lead, but you got to have a little momentum, and you got to be feeling a little bit better about yourself going to the locker room. They would love to get this thing down to single digits before the break.
Reno, open three, in and out, no good. So Stanford's gone a little cold on offense. Hurricanes trying to take advantage and get closer. Under 3 minutes to go first half. Cleveland cut off by Young, but draws a foul.
I think Young did a nice job initially playing defense, but just kind of at the end came down with his arms.
So Miami will be at the free throw line on a little run when we come back to Stanford. I think it's been a while since Stanford's had a win like they got this past weekend on the road at the Dean Dome, Chapel Hill. Final second, Stanford down 1. Jalen Blake's the Duke transfer doing it against the Tar Heels. Almost literally a true buzzer beater. The game-winning shot for Stanford on the road. It's got people talking here on the farm. Stanford basketball. Look, Scott, it's been a decade where Stanford has struggled. First-year head coach Kyle Smith, 12-6, 9-1 at home, winning record in the ACC. A lot of home games lined up. You got one of the best players in the country on your side. Stanford's feeling optimistic.
Oh yeah, the stock is rising most definitely. You're going to the D-Dome, getting that win, showing that you can win on the road out on the East Coast, getting their first W in the ACC out on the East Coast, and yeah, they're feeling good about themselves. They're gonna come out here and jump on the Canes early. Now can they get this momentum back that the Canes have stolen in this first half in this next 2:45?
It's a 10-0 run, and that's 4.5 minutes without a point for Stanford, which was getting everything it wanted offensively. Shot right side. That one deflected. That's, I think, the third jump shot that's been blocked by Miami in this first half. Swartz trailing three, too strong. Rebound, and the touch pass was deflected.
Yeah, maybe a little too aggressive there with that touch pass, trying to get it underneath the Lynn Kidd. Could have been better served, getting a higher percentage shot.
Reno passes up the three, so Stanford will run some half-court offense. Blakes was double-teamed and tried to find his teammate with a cross-court pass, and that was knocked out of bounds.
Hey, can we give a little credit to this Canes defense? They found themselves down by 20 points, and it didn't hang their head. They have come out here and deflected passes, this disrupt this Cardinal attack, and they also blocked a bunch of shots.
They're playing a lot harder. Nice move that time. Evan Stinson, who hadn't played a whole lot lately, getting some minutes here in the first half.
How about that, Coach Smith, realizing, hey, I got to get some guys who want to play hard out there and get this momentum back. He went to the end of his bench and found him.
Stinson was committed to Washington State and Kyle Smith before Kyle took this job. Kidd, nice move.
Yeah, how about that? I understand Reno not wanting to pick up a second foul, but Lynn Kidd absolutely went to work. Used his offhand really well, had the rim protecting his shot. Look at that backdoor.
Oh, great pass. Blanks had his shot blocked, though. Reno passes up the three. Blanks along the baseline, traveled.
Hey, you mentioned during our break that the Cardinals are passing up some open looks. There might be an example. Reynaud had a shot, didn't get it. He throws it over across court, and then going baseline here, just stepped out of bounds with the basketball. So, yeah, there we are with 1:17 to play. And Miami's looking a lot better than they were at the 10-minute mark.
Blake steals it away, and a Miami Hurricane. What a weekend for the Blake's family, wasn't it? So Jalen, we showed you the buzzer beater against Carolina. Jalen's younger sister plays for Vanderbilt. Michaela's just a freshman. Vanderbilt played the very next day, Sunday. So Jalen and Stanford at Carolina Saturday. Michaela and Vanderbilt at home against Tennessee. They're in-state rivals, great women's power program. And Michaela hits a buzzer beater the day after her brother does. Reynaud, layup, no good. Excellent offensive rebound from Stinson, who came flying in there. A rare miss at the rim from Reynaud. Isaiah Sellers, meanwhile, trying to find an opening. He misses that shot. Reynaud, another offensive rebound.
The 7th board of the first half.
Sellers for 3.
Second chance points just absolutely kill you when you're in a big hole and you're trying to claw back, especially when it comes out there from behind the arc. So nice, hard-fought basket by the Cardinals. They needed one.
They did. They've gone cold in the second half of this first half. Final 30 seconds. Cleveland working his way in against Blake's. Tough shot. Off the rim. No good. Reynaud rebound. And now Stanford is going to hold for one more look.
Yeah, they like this high pick and roll with Reynaud in these final moments. Pick and roll, pick and pop.
Blake's hits Reynaud. Extra pass in the corner. Open 3. No good. Rebound Miami, and the heave is going to come up short. So Stanford will go to the locker room with a 16-point lead.
Yeah, Stanford did what they wanted to do here in this first half. Sure, they had a little lull that let Miami go on a 10-0 run. But in all, Coach Smith's going to be real happy with their effort. One more time down here. The big man did not disappoint in the first half. Doing it from the inside, doing it from the outside.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN from the Bay Area. Here on the campus of Stanford University. Cardinals control the first half, that's for sure. 37-21. Leading Miami as we start the second half. Dave Fleming, Scott Williams back here with you. Look, we told you Maxime Reynaud was good. He showed it all off in the first half.
Yes, maximum effort in that first 20 minutes. Kid's absolutely phenomenal. I love the fact that he loves playing with his teammates, really shares the basketball well. He's got great passing ability and court vision. He can do it down on the right block or the left block with the left hand. That ain't easy. I mean, he makes it look easy. And then I love that. Offensive rebounds lead to second chance points. Then you step out and you show everybody in the building, hey, not only am I pretty down on that block, I can shoot it from 3.
9 points, 8 rebounds, as you said. Even though he missed some shots that he probably normally makes. Stanford 4 of 14 from three-point range. Miami did not hit a 3 in the first half. Stanford passed the ball well. They started off 21-3. The silver lining, and you talked about it for the Hurricanes, a Miami team that's beleaguered, winless in conference play, long way from home. They fought hard after that horrible start and actually played much better as the half went along.
Yeah, they were down by 20, cut it to 13 at one point, and they're playing hard. I mean, they haven't made a three-point shot in the basketball game. Kids leading them in scoring. Cleveland's only got 4 points, so you know he's got about 14 more in him.
Hurricanes have the ball to start the second half. Chukwu finds Cleveland. That 3 goes down. So there's the first one.
Well, you got to love that right there, right? You go inside, all the defenders to shrink down below that free throw line, and then you find one of your best players with a wide open look.
Wow, hard foul. Blake's got decked.
That's one of those ones you got 2 young men fighting real hard for the ball and they get knocked down, but you got to love that right there. Get Cleveland going this half. He really struggled in the first half, couldn't get anything to go, and then goes Blake's. He posted up big in that first half. I think that the Hurricanes were determined not to let him operate on that low block again.
Reynaud His first shot of the second half came up short. Here comes Miami out on the move. Cleveland's going to attack with the left hand. Nice finish.
How good is he at just going right at that shot blocker in transition? And then at the last minute, after you've gotten some contact, you switch it to that left hand to get it away from the shot blocker.
Tell you what, this game's not over. Miami on a 5-0 run to start the half. Leads down to 11. Wild shot. Somehow Blake spun it in.
He really did spin that in. I mean, he put a lot of English on that ball. It hit out by the American flag on the backboard and swung all the way back into the hoop.
That was like a trick shot from Jalen Blakes.
You call that one a horse, don't you?
You have to call it. Kid, no good. Rebound, Reno.
Look at Reno attacking that glass once again now. Give him 9 points, 9 boards.
Big time rebounder. Third in the country in rebounds. Blakes finds Reno. A little off balance, so he got Kidd in the air and scores.
He had an offensive rebound in the first half where he tried to go up with it. He got poked away from behind. This time he got that ball down low, gathered, went up with more power around the basket.
There's number 10.
Well, again, 16th double-double on the season, leading everybody in college basketball.
Wide open Sellers three, no good. Rebound, who's the call against? It's on Stanford. This was the trick shot we were talking about. Seriously.
Well, he drives the ball hard to the basket. He's got long-arm Kid coming over and another defender, and somehow he squirted between two of them, but he had very little room to get the ball up, so he had to use the side of the backboard. And like you said, he just spun it real hard like you'd spin a top, and it spun right into the hole.
Trying to go back door. I mean, that thing was, you watch that replay, that wasn't anywhere near the square. I mean, that was, oh man. I don't know when the last time I saw one that spun that much.
No, I used to see Michael Jordan do some phenomenal things up and around and over the rim, but that was every bit as good as anything I saw him do.
Yeah, hear that, MJ? Try that. Offensive rebound, put back, no good. And Johnson fighting hard. His shot rejected. Just can't finish around the basket.
They're really struggling, shooting under 30% in this game, and you're getting some high percentage looks, but you give the Cardinal a lot of credit. They don't give up anything easy underneath.
Reno hands off to Sellers. Reno posting up against Kidd. Banging down low, no good.
I love to see the old school big guys banging on the block.
Quickly into the front court. That shot misses. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Miami.
I could watch that all night. You know, this Kid on one block at one end, Reno on another block at the other end, and Coach Courtney. He's not real happy right now with the score, but he's got to be happy with the way his team has come out of the locker room and has fought here in these first 3 minutes.
I mean, way better effort. We don't want to beleaguer the point and belabor it, but they gave up 117 in a non-overtime game last time out against SMU. 3-on-2 and a bad pass. Blakes did not see State McCray coming from behind. He stole it away. Here's Swartz on the move, and that was not a good pass on this end.
Getting a little sloppy out here. Guys got to take care of and value that basketball.
Reno skips it. Young got fouled. When you go to you went to Stanford practice yesterday. When you watch Kyle Smith run a practice, when Stanford turns the ball over, he's not shy about telling his team how he feels about it.
Not real happy about that at all. And he harps, another thing he harps on is rebounding the basketball. When his guys get on that glass, especially offensive glass, he's quick to run over and give somebody a pat on the backside like, good job.
Reno three, good.
Reno is doing a little bit of everything tonight. Inside buckets, he's stroked a couple triples now. He's got himself a double-double. He's sharing the basketball with his teammates for some easy backdoor layups. This kid's a total package.
Grew up in Paris playing with Victor Wembanyama as a kid. Played a lot of basketball together. Cleveland, little mid-range jumper.
So Cleveland starting to get himself going now, right? 4 points in the first half. He's got 7 here already in the second.
Basketball in France, for French basketball, the national team's excellent. Reynaud lays it in.
Done his work early. Yeah. He got Kidd on his back. Great entry from his teammate. All he had to do was catch and finish. He might be on his way to another one of those 25-point efforts.
Kidd down low, trying to spin around Reynaud. Ball knocked out of bounds. Stanford ball. That takes us to the timeout. Well, we told you he played well in the first half, and he's kept it going here in the second half.
Well, I love this right here, right? Just a little pick. Let me pop back out here. You take my defender with you and give me a clean look at the three-point line and then Blake's. What a circus shot. That thing hit at the very top right corner of the backboard and spun in the bucket. Stanford on a roll.
Well, this is definitely one of the biggest games of the year in women's college basketball, and because of all the winter weather, it's been moved. New day, new time. So Friday, 5 Eastern on ESPN, number 5 LSU, number 2 South Carolina on ESPN, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. A huge game in the SEC on the women's side with a different time than originally scheduled because of that weather. So just make note of that. Friday, 5 Eastern on ESPN. We're here at Stanford, a place that has incredible history on the women's side. Court named after Tar Vanderveer. You can see it there in big script. One of the all-time great coaches, men's or women's college basketball. Agarwal shoots the three. Good.
Agarwal, patient three-pointer, nice swing of basketball. Move that ball from side to side, your percentages go up drastically.
I mean, you see him shoot like that, and then you think, how's he shooting 25% for the year? He's known as a shooter.
When he gets on balance, he's much better.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he's rushing his shot, trying to make sure he gets one up. But that one, that's perfectly. I'm already on balance. You gave me a great bounce pass, just a bit outside my shooting pocket, but he grabs it, pulls it in, gets in that shooting pocket. It's got plenty of time. No time for the defense to close out because the ball has been swung from side to side, and he knocks it down. I like Brian Agarwal. This kid can play.
Yeah, and you pointed it out in the first half. He's not just a shooter. He defends different positions. He's Stanford's second leading rebounder. Good assist-to-turnover ratio. Just a good all-around player.
Yeah, high basketball IQ. He was the kind of guy you want on your squad.
Almost played none at all under the last head coach here. So Jared Haas didn't give him a lot of minutes, and Kyle Smith has come in and made him a featured player. And he's blossomed. Whips a pass in the corner. That's Chisholm Akpara, the Harvard transfer. Made some nice plays in the first half. Finds Reynaud, three again.
It's hard not to be impressed by the way this Stanford team shares the basketball. And they got shooters 1 through 5 that can space the floor.
Left side jumper. That one's good. Just a 2 along 2. Reynaud said something to Joe Bay, maybe a little French talk on the court.
I think those guys have hooked up in some summertime action.
I mean, we asked Paul Joe Bay, did you play against Reynaud? A 3.
It is raining Reynaud three-point shots here in Palo Alto. You know what? I was saying it smells better on this campus than most universities I've ever been to. You were explaining why to me. I forgot why, but it's smelling sweet and right here inside this arena for Reynaud as he's dropping threes left and right.
All right, come on, like California redwoods in the wintertime rain, the eucalyptus trees.
I love it. I'll tell you what, I think give me a little spot up here. It just smells good. You live someplace where I live in the desert. You don't got these kind of smells.
Hard to beat being here on the farm. Benny Keeler. Agarwal goes baseline and dumps it off. Nice pass. Akpara finishes.
Again, the sharing of the basketball is a pretty thing to watch. You know, I got to do the FSU Stanford game on Friday. I'm so excited to watch this team again because they play the right way. Look at the big man using his wheels in transition.
Yeah, running the floor, and he tried to dunk it home. Got fouled.
Well, I said he might be at one of those 25-point nights, and sure enough, when you come out and you start finding the basket from the three-point line like Reno has tonight, and his teammates realizing, hey, he's got it stuck on automatic. Let's get the big 42, the basketball, and he is knocked out. What is that, 4 triples for this young man?
Shooting it, running the floor, rebounding. He's got his nation-leading 16th double-double, leading the conference in points and rebounds per game. I mean, look, there is an interesting discussion. Cooper Flagg has been just fantastic, and it's hard to argue with how great he's played. You'd have to say he's the favorite to be the conference player of the year.
Yeah, and his numbers aren't as good as Reno's because he plays less minutes. Sometimes they're up by 25 or 30 points, and he's not even playing the final 10, 12 minutes of a basketball game. So I understand Cooper Flagg as the player of the year in the ACC. But if it wasn't for Flagg, you got to give it to this guy right now. He does it all.
Yeah, and as great as Flagg has been, you can still make a pretty decent argument that this kid has just been better than everybody.
Yeah, you know, he got 24 points. He got the 10 boards. He just checked out. Don't know if we're going to see him again tonight. Still a lot of time left in this one, but up by 25. I think Coach Smith will take a long, hard thought before he puts him back in this basketball game. Hey, there are a lot of pro scouts to see him tonight, though. He might get a little more action.
They may have seen what they needed to see. Shot fake, and the ball knocked away, saved in bounds. Agarwal way outside for 3. Oh, I guess he's feeling a little confidence.
I guess it's contagious, you know. When one big guy steps out of the game, the other big guy comes in and he starts shooting triples.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Miami and send us to a timeout. Hurricanes made a little push, but Stanford has answered in a big way, and the outside shots have been a part of it. Ryan Agarwal showing off the range. Stanford up big second half. We'll see if we see Maxime Reynaud in the game again. He and his assistant coach Eric Reveneau, one of the best big man coaches in college basketball, having a laugh on the sidelines. 24 points, 10 rebounds. One thing that Reveneau didn't do in his great Stanford career, he wasn't making 4 or 6 from three-point range.
Well, a lot to smile about when your big man stroking, like you said, stroking it from the outside, and you're up by 28 points.
And the Warriors general manager has front row seat. He's been watching Reynaud knock down those threes. Look, you played a long time in the NBA. Part of being a big man in that league these days is making outside shots, being able to go outside and score. What do you think? Maxime Reynaud have a spot at the next level?
I can't believe Mike would not have been impressed by what he has seen tonight. He was a big in the NBA that liked to shoot it from the outside, and he's got one of the best three-point shooters in the history of the game on his club. So, in Steph Curry, so he's got to be impressed with what he saw. Not only did he knock down triples, he showed great ability on both blocks with both hands. He had great court vision, and he attacked the glass. Got himself 10 boards.
Steve Kerr, your old teammate from the Chicago Bulls, has talked at times this year. Warriors have been struggling lately. And one thing Kerr's talked about is the Warriors don't have that sort of traditional big man who can stretch the floor, who can go outside. Kevon Looney's not that kind of player. Trace Jackson Davis, as good as he's been, is not that kind of player. The Warriors are sort of looking for a big man who can knock down shots from the outside.
They got one right down the road here in Reynaud. It'd be if they have a mid to late, early second. If he's still available, I think he's an absolute no-brainer, can't miss in that position.
All right, Don Levy, that one's on us for free.
Yeah, I'm going to that Warrior. I'm going to Bull. My old team, the Bulls, are playing the Warriors tomorrow. I got to go check it out.
You got to see your old club. Cleveland on the break lays it in.
You know, something about Matthew Cleveland. He had a poor first half, but he has really shown his ability here in the second half. He's got 13 points in under 10 minutes here in the second half. So good from the outside, so good in transition, just always on balance.
3 missed, but the young big man, the freshman Aiden Kamen, Went for the offensive rebound and draws a foul. 10.5 minutes to go, and Kyle Smith is not going to ice his star player for the rest of the game. Reno coming back in.
Well, you know, they don't play again till Saturday afternoon, so they'll probably take tomorrow off. So he's figuring, hey, I might as well get another 4 or 5 minutes out of this young fella tonight, and then go have him go ice down his knees after that. Or if he's going to try to shoot another three. He's got 3 threes from this left side. See if he gets up another shot from behind the arc on that left side.
Gives it up. Sets a screen and gets it back. A little mid-range.
Well, he hadn't shown that one yet, right? He could have taken one power dribble and dunked it. He said, hey, I haven't showed him my little mini floater from the right side here from the third block.
Yeah, see, I like that smart play because Dunleavy's on that side. So he went over to Dunleavy's side. Hey, you want to get a good look at this? How about this one?
I love it. This is the guy I like, Benny Keller. He plays so hard in practice. Like, he's not like the 6th guy. He was a walk-on. He walked on, and they gave him a scholarship. He plays so hard.
Yeah, and he's a good shooter. He's a little undersized, and
he's a scrapper, though.
He is.
You know, every team needs a Benny on their squad, right? Like, this dude just goes, and he'll take a charge. He'll put his nose down, go for a steal. He doesn't care if he gets cracked upside the noggin. He plays every possession like it's his last.
One thing about playing for Kyle Smith, if you're not a starter, you're not guaranteed a lot of minutes. Kyle Smith runs a pretty tight ship. Leans on those starting 5. Pass down low for the layup.
Well, there's some good sharing of the basketball. I'm singing praises of these Stanford team. It's Miami team sharing the basketball here late in the game where they're finding themselves trailing big.
That was Kyrie Huey who laid it in. Reno against his fellow countrymen. Had it knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, one of the few times that they've actually double-teamed Reno. They waited for him to dribble it once. Then they went down and tried to double him, and they almost got that turnover.
Keeler checks out of the game. Sellers back in for Stanford. He's played well tonight. Shot clock winding down. Blake's down low. Reno pushed off. They call the offensive foul.
Yeah, down there, I think. I don't know if it was Cleveland, Matt Cleveland on him down there, but giving up a lot of inches. Yeah, Cleveland's down here trying to bang with the big fella. Goes, oh no, I'm in a bad way. But Reno panicked just a little bit. Ball wasn't as high as he would have liked it, so he had to use that off left forearm to push Cleveland out of the way. When you throw that once to the big guy, you got to throw up by the square and let it come down where only he can get it.
In and out, no good. Rebound, Stanford has it.
You know, Stanford, they did a footwork job. They tried to throw it again inside. They tried to feed him and realize, and he's only got a few more minutes on the court. But Stanford did a better job, I think, here in this second half. Really limited in Miami to just one shot and choked off the middle. When they got on that 10-0 run, they were able to get to the middle. They were able to get to the free throw line. They were able to get some offensive rebounds. They have tightened all that up here in the second half.
Chukwu had it knocked away. That's a turnover. Evan Stinson back in for Stanford. So Stanford using its depth a little more than usual with the big lead. Backdoor, nice pass. Reno found Jalen Blakes.
Well, Blake's move's good without the basketball. This kid is so improved from what he was at Duke. And his 3 years at Duke, only 166 shots. He's already over 175 shots here on the season for Miami in only a half a year.
Excellent effort defensively. Numbers, Stinson with the left hand got rewarded, and a timeout Miami.
Yeah, Miami needed a good timeout. This thing is getting real ugly now. The lead is ballooned. The largest of the game is 30 points.
68-38. Stanford trying to build on its momentum, up big at home. So much great college hoops on Saturday. A quadruple header on ESPN. Number 9, Kentucky and Vanderbilt at 2:30 Eastern. Number 2, Duke. They've been spectacular lately. Wake Forest, good team. That's at 4:30 Eastern. Houston, Kansas, big game in the Big 12, 6:30. And Tennessee, Auburn, 2 top 10 teams in the SEC to finish it off. #1 Auburn. Bruce Pearl, who many years ago was an assistant here at Stanford at the very beginning of his career.
That'll be a fun one. I'm really looking forward to the ACC matchup between Duke and Wake. That Hunter Salas, he's worth the price of admission. And, of course, Cooper Flagg. My goodness. I don't like to give those Duke guys a lot of credit, but he can play.
And speaking of Cooper, I think he's cemented his status as the #1 overall pick in the upcoming NBA draft. He has been great. So Duke and Wake this weekend. ACC game here tonight in Maples. Timeout. We'll be back to Palo Alto after this. Well, Monday, Huddle Crew reveals this season's ACC football schedule, breaking down every team. Coverage of the 2-hour special begins at 9 Eastern over on ACC Network and the ESPN app. And look who's here, the now general manager of the Stanford football program, the great Andrew Luck, one of the all-time. Andrew's in the second row there in the red and the glasses. He's been around campus. We see him a lot when we come to Palo Alto, but now officially in a GM role, sort of a pioneering role that was created for him.
I loved watching him quarterback.
Oh my God.
In the NFL. He was so good.
When Stanford, obviously, a great history here of football and quarterback play in particular. Sellers for 3, no. Reno gets a rebound and a bucket all in one.
Well, just so good at using his length, right? I mean, yes, when you train with Wembanyama in the offseason and playing against the guy 7'4", you're going to pick up a few things, right?
Yeah, he's picked up a few. That shot is no good. Ball tipped around. Miami comes away with it. Joe Bay, who's from Lille, France. Not Paris. More like northern France.
You got that French tongue. You said that your pronunciation was excellent.
It just rolls right off.
I got to get to France. I think I'm one of the only people in America that has not been to Paris.
Yeah. Do you like food and culture and wine?
Look at the size of me. You think I would miss a good meal?
So you got to get to Paris. Andrew, so Stanford. We'll talk a little more about Maxime Reynaud. Just how good.
Well, look where he starts,
been,
right? So he does his work early. He gets the smaller defender, kind of clamps him down on that left side. So he realizes, I got anything middle into the right side.
He's got 28 and 12. Let's see if Stanford tries to get him one more bucket. Get to that 30-point threshold and then maybe take the rest of the night off.
Yeah, he has scored 30 points twice. 30-plus points twice this season. So, yeah, maybe they would try to get him one more bucket here in the final 6 minutes.
Shot clock winding down. Good little pass to find an open shooter. And Akbara knocks down the 3 from Stinson.
Listen, this is a fun team to watch. You got the big guy down there that really does a great job leading his squad, not only with his play, but with his vocal leadership. And here goes another one by Blakes.
Oh, boy. Jalen Blakes. Wow. That was a heck of a finish.
Well, whatever he got a taste of when that game winner in North Carolina, he really likes, because this kid has a good ability. He's got a hop, and he thought that one down.
He might do it again. Oh, my goodness. Nobody spins it off the backboard like Jalen Blakes, who's had 3 spectacular plays in this game.
Well, that even got Andrew Luck out of his chair, because this one right here, he knew he had the defender closing on him, and he was only going to be able to put one hand on it. I don't know about that touchdown celebration, but we got to work on that. But then this one here, he knows how to float from one side underneath the rim to the other and then spin that thing off the glass. Boy, they have busted this thing open in the last 3 minutes if it wasn't already broke before.
I hope his sister's watching tonight. It's late night back in Tennessee if the Vanderbilt women's team is at home. But we were talking to Jalen. We told the story about how he hit the buzzer beater in Chapel Hill on Saturday. His sister, the very next day against Tennessee, a buzzer beater of her own, Michaela Blakes, who might end up being the freshman of the year in the SEC. She's been big time, hustle play, literally at the buzzer to win the game for Vanderbilt. That's a good weekend for the Blakes family.
Well, it sure is. And you always got to defend the person taking the ball out of bounds. She went for 24 points with a game winner to knock off number 15 Tennessee, the in-state rivals.
I mean, just a freshman playing in the SEC. Jalen told us he was in the training room watching the game and saw it live as it happened, and was very proud of his little sister.
Yeah, that's a proud family, obviously. His father, Monroe, was at the game.
Jalen's good move, nice entry pass, and the layup for Stanford. Jalen said his sister was a dancer early on and kind of came late to basketball. I don't know how late, but he wasn't always a basketball player, but took to it pretty naturally. Kid with the catch and score.
Well, I would think that dancing would help you with your footwork, right? Help you with your mobility, your flexibility, be able to get to different areas on the court, and she certainly ended up getting to the front of the rim where her team needed her to be in that final second to throw that thing in the basket.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Timeout on the floor with under 4 minutes to go. All Stanford here at Maples Pavilion, and Jalen Blakes, man, what a great story he's been. His sister, Dad Monroe. The Blakes have had a lot to smile about, haven't they?
Love it. Doesn't get much better than that. Well, it has been maximum rain-o tonight here in Palo Alto. This kid has done it absolute everything. The up and under moves, using his length around the basket, stepping out behind the three-point arc and knock it down. Shots and did he get on the glass? He's got 12 rebounds, 3 on the offensive end to go along with 28 points. Cardinals shooting 68% in the second half because Rayno is doing his darn thing here in this basketball game.
2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, the double-double. Pretty impressive night for one of the best players in college basketball that not enough folks talk about. Keeler misses the 3. And if you weren't as impressed enough with Maxime Reynaud's basketball game, he will graduate this spring from Stanford with a degree in mathematics and computer science.
Yeah, there's another good look at his numbers all put together there, the 10 to 17. We talked about the 4 triples, the 12 boards, 16 double-doubles, leading all of college basketball. Just an impressive stat line this evening. I had a chance to talk to him after practice yesterday. He even plays chess. He and Wembanyama were playing chess this summer and getting Wembanyama ready for the Olympics. I want to challenge him to a game. I got a chessboard.
Really?
Yeah,
ready?
I'm not too good.
Okay.
I play on chess.com. I can play with all these people all around the world. But I love to play. It relaxes me. And I think that's what's so good about chess. You're always thinking a couple moves ahead, and I think that's what Raynaud does out here on the basketball court.
Another missed 3 from Benny Keeler, who's not happy. He's usually a very good shooter. Cleveland gets it back and dunks it home with a foul. How about that move?
I told you Cleveland's got bunnies. He ain't just a three-point shooter, gets a slasher, and he can finish at the rim for his 21st point of the evening. So coming off of that 31-point game right here, says, hey, I know we're getting beat. I'm going to show everybody in this building that I can take it to the rack and finish overhand.
A lot of work to do for this Miami program. Look, they have had
plenty of recent success. They've been to a Final Four in the last couple of years, but their coach resigns mid-season. Hall of Fame caliber coach Jim Larrañaga is one of the greats.
Oh yeah, Coach L, surefire Hall of Famer.
But quits in the middle of the year. This team is going to be 0-8 in ACC play, and it just seems like a much longer time ago that they were in the Final Four. This program's got some work to do.
Yeah, and whether it's Coach Courtney or somebody else at the helm next year, they're going to have to do what Coach Smith has done with this Stanford program, start to develop a culture of playing hard, playing defense, rebounding the ball, and taking care of the basketball. Too many turnovers, too many easy buckets inside for the Cardinals tonight.
Anthony Batson in for the first time for Stanford. Cameron Grant getting a chance to play. He hadn't got many minutes this year. Number 24, Jalen Thompson, also a rare appearance. Batson attacks, missed the shot. Thompson tried to get the offensive rebound. It's batted around and out of bounds off of Miami.
Well, Batson wasted no time. He put it in attack mode. As soon as he stepped on the court, he probed that baseline hard. Had it rim out on him, but I love the kid's energy. You sit on that bench for a long time, you can get stiff. This kid came in ready to perform.
Cleveland checks out. Final 2:18 here. Stanford's going to be 5-3 in ACC play. This is the start of a stretch where they get 5 of 6 conference games at home.
Yeah,
they had a very road-heavy and a difficult schedule to start conference play. You start to look around the ACC. Stanford has a chance to work its way up close to the top of the league standings.
Yes, they're sitting in that 7th hole right now in the standings. They got Florida State coming in here, a team that lost at Cal tonight.
First free throw from Kamen is good. Australian Open coverage continuing down under tonight at 3:30 a.m. Eastern. Of course, if you're out here on the West Coast, it's only 12:30. Not that late. On ESPN, ESPN Plus, you get the women's semis. Sabalenka and Badosa, and then Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek. And semis tonight, starting in less than 3 hours. Cameron Grant grabs a rebound. Maybe some of his fellow fraternity members are standing behind us. It's possible.
Certainly a fan favorite, to be sure.
He'll shoot the three. Good! How about that?
It never surprises me when you see somebody do something good on the defensive end. Get a steal, get a block, grab a board, and how all of a sudden their next trip down to the offensive end, they find the ball in their hand and they knock down a shot.
I love the reaction from the bench when a walk-on gets a chance to play and does something like that.
Well, that's when you know you got good team camaraderie, right? Like they know how hard these guys work on a scout team, preparing them in practice to come out and perform like this. So they're happy for them when they do something positive.
Thompson three, no good. Grant rebound. He sticks it in. He's doing a little bit of everything.
He's 2 for 2. He's got 4 points and a board. How about this young man?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, says Maxime Reynaud. A career burst for Cameron Grant. Final 45 seconds. That three goes down from Jobe. And now substitutions. Stanford will get the young big man back in the game. Toure. And Cole Kastner will also check in. How about Cameron Grant? Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that one right there. I only gave him credit for 2. He knocked down a triple over there on that left side. And look at that's what I love about Reynaud. First guy off that bench, cheering on the walk-on.
Cameron Grant had played 10 total minutes all year before this little outburst.
This is a game he will never forget. He's going to go home and rewatch this one as soon as he gets back to the dormitory.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Cameron. Batson at the free throw line, makes the first.
Hey, do these guys even stay in dormitories anymore? Or do they get like some off-campus, loft-style crib?
At Stanford, probably more likely than at most places to be still in the dorms.
Yeah, they had us in dormitories back in the 80s. That guys probably got great apartments.
Wow!
Did he 360 that?
He did! I said reverse, it was a 360.
He went full 360 on him there at the end of the game. Could they tee him up? Oh, they might have teed him up for hanging on the rim, but look at that one more time. The young man spun it all the way around. Wow. And then hung on the board, hung on the rim a little too long. The officials weren't having any of it. No, let them have some fun.
Yeah, they don't like fun. The 360 dunk from Anthony Batson.
Well, so when this kid came in, he was ready to go, right? Like he already had it in high gear on that first drive, and then getting this one in transition. He threw his arm up like, hey, hit me down here and let me show the fans what I can do above the rim.
This is the most exciting minute of a blowout game you could ever watch.
Well, partner, I enjoyed this one with you, and the Stanford basketball team is for real.
They have some upside, this team. They're getting better. Stanford might be, I don't know if they can challenge the very top teams in the ACC, but pretty good team right now.
Playing good basketball.
An impressive win, backing up the road win against Carolina, 88-51, taking care of Miami. Largest margin of victory all year, 37 points. Maxime Reynaud didn't quite have 37 by himself. It only felt like it.
Reynaud is worth the price of admission. His kid's got every tool in the toolbox that you need.
Well, for Scott Williams and our whole crew, Dave Fleming saying, thanks for being with us, Stanford. Trying to get on a roll, get their 13th win of the year, 88-51, the final score. Thanks for watching the ACC on ESPN. Good night from Stanford University here in Palo Alto.